Hi you guys, and welcome to a tutorial of how I use fast and go bandages. I'm going to start off with doing a leg demonstration because that's obviously what I practice on a daily basis, so it's more familiar for me, and I'll give you a bit of the strengths of why I like to use fast and go bandages. So compared to the old school style system of wrapping, fast and go bandages, you only really need to use very limited quantities. So the old style of wrapping, you would have a cotton stockinette, you would have your foam bandages, and then you would have your short stretch bandages over top. So it was many layers, and if you were like a bilateral lymphie, you would have like just all these bandages around. So when it came to donning on and taking off and re-wrapping your bandages, it was a lot of work. If it's not easy to use and if it's not easy to apply, it's very difficult to be consistent with it. So that's kind of the first biggest thing that I figured out with using fast and go. The second thing is that the way how that they're manufactured using hybrid bandaging, there is a short stretch bandage inside of a non-elastic cotton stockinette. This allows for the most maximum pressure and consistency when applying it to your leg. Now I hear what you're saying, okay, so there's two bandages inside one. Now what? The best thing that they have done about these bandages is that they've actually put a seam about every 6 inches up the bandage, so that when you're applying the bandage on your skin, you can only pull it so tight. This prevents over tightening your bandages because, as you know, you'll do all the work to put your bandage on, and if you pull too tightly, the pressure is way too much, then there's a risk for, not getting any blood flow down to your toes. The benefits of fast and go bandages is that they're very easy to apply on. You can get consistent pressure. They're easy to roll up, right? Because there's not as many of them, as well as they're machine wash and machine dry if you so choose. I also have had my bandages, some of them for up to 2 years now, so they do go the distance and they do last a long time, and I wear these practically every single night. So they're great to travel with, easy to put in your bags, and depending on the size and kit that you get, kind of determine the length of the bandages that you have. I've kind of had to sample around with the kits and the sizes. I really enjoy having longer bandages, as I want to make sure I can get as high up my leg as possible, as well as if I happen to have a flare-up, if my leg gets bigger in size, you're going to use more bandages than less, right? So I kind of like to get a longer length bandage. The other benefit about bandaging is that it's a custom fit every single time that you go to apply it. So no matter if you're swollen or if you're not, these garments are meant to be sitting directly on your skin, directly for the size that you're at when you're using them. You can also use them for daytime use, nighttime use. I do workout in my bandages. You can put a shoe over top of your bandages, which I know that's a huge benefit with using fast and go. The old system doesn't allow you to really put your foot into a shoe because there's just so much padding. So again, you're very versatile. You can put them under clothes. Nobody really notices that I'm wearing my bandages because they just sit so nicely up on the skin. I can't say enough good things about this product. If you haven't gotten a pair of yours, I do offer a discount code for ASOBI, so please feel free, if you're looking at hybrid bandages, you want that discount, you definitely can get a hold of one. So without further ado, let me show you how I apply my fast and go bandage. The regular way of bandaging is to kind of roll the bandage over top of it, going this way. Okay, all of the therapists will tell you this is the gold standard of how to apply a bandage. Personally, I have a hard time holding the bandage. I drop my bandage every single time trying to do it the way how the therapists do. I end up doing it the backwards way, so please do forgive me. I get yelled at all the time, but I find that this is the best way that I can maintain the pressure, where it's not too much and it's not too loose. So do try to maybe play with it, because I think that's the other biggest challenge of bandaging, is that it does take time to practice and it does take time to learn. So the way how I'm doing it is not the way how it's actually taught. So just try to take this for face value. I'll do the very best that I can. If you get swelling in your toes, you do want to put on your toe caps. Thankfully, I don't have any swelling in my toes, so I don't need to put anything on my toes. If you don't have toe caps, then you will want to get those little finger gauzes where you can actually individually wrap your toes. So there's always that if you really need that extra compression around the base of your feet. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to take the center of the bandage and put it in the center of my foot. And I'm going to go around twice to kind of just lock that in place, okay? I'm leaving my foot nice and flexed. I didn't really show you an up-close picture of these bandages, but you will notice there's a black line in the center of the bandage. This is your reference point. So every time that you go around the limb, you want to match the edge of the bandage to that black line, again, giving you equal gradient compression. So I'm just about to come up to my ankle. I do a traditional figure 8 pattern. Again, the biggest thing that you want to do is leave your foot flexed. So if you're walking in them, exercising in them, all that stuff, you have that mobility because you're going to do a figure 8 pattern into that ankle, still allowing for mobility. Okay? I don't get much swelling in the heel of my foot, so I do have a little bit exposed. So you want to play this by ear depending on if you get the swelling in the very, very base of the ankle. You might want a bit more coverage than I do. So now that I've done the figure 8 twice, I can now go back up to that ankle, and I'm now just going to take my bandage and I'm going to match the edge of my bandage to the black line, working up to the next point. So now that I'm at the edge, you will notice that there is a loop, a fabric loop at the edge. Some fast and go bandage kits will come with a hook that you would just naturally slip this in. Some bandage kits don't, and you will get an extending piece. So either piece works. Okay, this piece that I have that has a hook, I found that this is actually a smaller bandage, but I'm just going to use it just to show you how this locks into place. So I'm going to slide that piece in, still keeping that tension in the bandage. And now when I get to my knee, I'm going to give it a slight knee bend, and I'm going to repeat that figure 8 pattern around my knee. So again, if I'm working out in it, I can still bend my knee, right? If I'm walking, if I'm doing errands, and I'm going to continue to go up the leg. Now, like I said, the piece that had the hook, it's really easy to put on and attach it to the next piece, but unfortunately this is a small length. So as backup, I grabbed the larger one of the two, and I'm just gonna lay it over top of the way how I would, lock it in place, continuing up the leg as high as I can possibly go, keeping equal compression, keeping equal gradient. And then I'm going to catch to the end, and you should get a double hooked Velcro piece. That Velcro piece is going to slip into the loop, wrap it around, grab your fingers under one of the pieces of Velcro, and then slip the end of that other hook in. And now you can work out, you can exercise, you can put your pants on, you can go to sleep, you can do whatever you need. But as you notice, this is one beautiful seamless bandage up my leg, fully secured, lots of options. And again, daytime, nighttime, whether you do groceries, whether you work out, whether you're maybe just sitting and watching TV. But because of the way how the bandages are manufactured, you get a very equal, consistent compression every single time, and it won't fall down. Here's a tip though, if you do find that your bandages are falling down, you want to celebrate this, because this is meaning that they're doing their job and that they're reducing you in size. My best recommendation is that if you can afford it, get a pair to wash and a pair to wear. Because if you start wearing these and they start to slip down, you can take them off and then you have your second pair already wrapped, ready to go to rewrap, because the whole purpose and the goal of these garments is to reduce your size and get you down as small as possible. So there's two reasons why your wraps will fall down. First is the application. You're not as thorough as you should be when putting them on. But if you know that you're a master bandager and they constantly still fall down, it's because you're losing the size. So be proud of this fact. Like I said, have a pair to wash, have a pair to wear, or just get really good at rolling them back up and then undoing them and then reapplying them. Because once you finally get down to the very smallest size, they will stay up for a very, very long period of time. So I hope that that demonstration helped. I can't wait to see and hear your feedback on using Fast and Go. Again, they are a superior product, completely replaces the old school style of bandages. But again, I did do a demonstration video of using the old school style of bandages, and if that's all that you have access to, bandaging is better than not doing anything at all. So really try to get good at the practice, get good at the art form, and just be very patient with yourself. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope this helped.